guys, I'm so excited to be going live with all of you right now. We're going to have one of my favorite humans, Mindy Schneider, coming on right now to tell you her story about how she actually realized that her purpose was just hiding there all along, how she finally got really clear on what it was so that she could just go full 100% into stepping into her life's work, into her calling. And there's going to be something really special about her story because it is one of the more interesting, I'd say, expressions of a purpose that I have seen so far. So I can't wait for you to hear her story. I can't wait for you to hear everything that she's going to tell you about what it was really like to finally just get clear on what her purpose is and to go full on into creating a business around it. So I know, Min, you are here. So if you want to just press request to join and we can get started. Let's see if the internet wants to work for us today. Beautiful. Okay, so let's get in here. Hi, guys. Let's get Mindy in here. Let's take this one start first. Hi.
Hi.
I love when it actually works. It's half the time, Instagram just decides to do crazy shit, but we're in. Love your earrings. Loving your earrings too. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Is this your first live?
First live. Yep.
Okay.
I'm happy I'm doing it with you.
Good. Amazing. I know you'll become a pro after this. So Mindy, I was just giving a little bit of like a high level. And the way I introduced you was by saying that you sort of just realized that your purpose was here, sort of sitting there all along. And actually, one of my former clients, Jess, is on this. And Jess, this is a shout out to you. Stay on here to listen to Mindy's story because this is going to speak to you. But anyways, Mindy, I can't wait for you to tell us your story. So let's start here. We're going to talk all about the business that you're building and the direction for where you're taking your purpose. But I want us to just kind of like rewind. Mindy just is finishing up Path to Purpose. When you think about like where you were in the beginning of the program, let's just kind of like paint the picture of like before. Where were you? What was going on?
Yeah, so, I kind of always had this dream of building a business with my horses and, I currently work in destination marketing, which is fancy word for tourism. And, I kind of, in some of my past positions too, I had kind of like built a brand and, did events and things like that. But I had this passion, right? Like my passion is horses. And I just didn't know how to like bring that to life. And I feel like 2020 really like gave me an opportunity to kind of get quiet and like go inward. And I didn't feel like I was like going as deep as I could, right? So there was like something keeping me stuck. And come to find out, it was those pesky limiting beliefs through going through Path to Purpose that was really keeping me just in a rut, spinning my wheels. And yeah, so I would say that's my word. Like I felt stuck before this, and now it's just like I feel so expansive. So.
I can't wait for you to tell us how you got here. So, I mean, but what you just called out is so true. I think for so many people, like 2020 was just one of those years, right? But really, one of the beautiful things I think that we all got was just space, right? Like space to tune inwards, space to really start to ask ourselves those questions of like, what do I really want with my life? And how do I really want this whole thing to go? And, I think we also were just faced, right, with our reality. There were no distractions anymore, right? Like we didn't have anything to do but just look at our lives and really look around and say, like, is this it? Like, is this what I want?
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that lots of people who are listening to this felt the same. And that feeling of stuckness, right? Like that's such a human experience where I think every single one of us at some point gets to that place where we feel like we know there's something more out there for us, right? Like we know there's like another like expansive, more expressive version of who we can become, but we just don't know how to get there. And as you like called out so beautifully, so often it's just like our old stories, our old limiting beliefs that want some space for us to actually look at them. So can you tell us a little bit more about, okay, so you came into the program just feeling super stuck, feeling like you knew there was something more, you had a passion that had to do with horses, but didn't really know what to do with it. You've been working in tourism for a long time, knew that probably wasn't like your forever gig. what did, can you tell us a little bit about some of, yeah, if you don't mind sharing, like what the actual limiting beliefs were that you were kind of, that you uncovered that you felt like might have been blocking you?
Yeah, so some of my really big ones, like when I went to work through that lesson, I wrote down a bunch of, different ones that were coming up, and it was just like, you know, can't be a business owner. I don't see myself being an entrepreneur, like some of those things. And then like as I dug deeper and you helped me like really get to the core of it, it was I am not loved, I am not safe, and I am not enough. So those three were the really big ones that, I could kind of narrow funnel down into some of the other ones. Those were my big ones. And yeah, just feeling supported in stepping into that purpose. That was a big limiting belief for sure.
So it's such a common one to feel like I could never be a business owner. I can never, right? And this surface level fear of
Yeah.
that, right? Like I could never be a business owner. I could never be an entrepreneur. Like that's just not for me. And it's really common actually for people who specifically come into Path to Purpose to have that exact one. Can you like, if you don't mind sharing, like go, like explain to us, like how did you realize that I can't be a business owner or the thought of like I can't be an entrepreneur? How did you connect the dots to like what was underneath that for you?
Yeah, so, I think like once I examined that and I examined that those beliefs came from, my family of origin or society or different things like that, I remember being small and it was like selling Girl Scout, like something as small as this, like selling Girl Scout cookies. And it was like, it was felt so uncomfortable to me. And I was just like, I think from that moment on, I was like, that limiting belief was in my head. And yeah, just like since I was like I can't be an entrepreneur, underneath of that was like I'm not safe and I'm not supported to step into that purpose. And just launching my business, I've already seen all the support and the rally behind me. So that's just completely not true belief for me anymore. It's totally changed my life. Like it's huge.
Tell us a little bit about, so first of all, tell us a little bit about your business. Tell us, get into some more detail about literally what the type of support you have. 'Cause I've seen some of it publicly, but like the support that you've received and felt since launching. So jump in and tell us a little bit about what you're doing now.
Yeah, so recently I launched my equine horse-assisted coaching business, and my target audience is really like compassionate, sensitive women that are just looking to step up in their leadership. I have seen just miraculous things happen with horses, and I've had horses for 17 years, and I've given lessons, but it's always seemed to be like there's these underlying little things that people get, whether it's like women using their voice, really stepping into holding boundaries and things of that. Like horses just they've been my my healers and my teachers, and so I really want to give that back in my coaching business and doing that. And I'm so excited for it. I'm so passionate about it, and it's like, and like the thing is like I feel so ready to like dream, right? Like that was the thing I think that was kind of blocking me. I wasn't really like dreaming big and really, you know, feeling like I can make those dreams happen. And people, so since I've launched my business, I've had friends and family and different things like that be like, that's your thing. That's it. Like I could see that for you. And like it's always been there all along, right? Like it's just stepping into it, making that uncomfortable move to be like, no, I might not feel 100% ready for this, but I'm gonna do it. Like, yeah,
We all, we're just for some reason as humans, like we get stuck in the fear, right? Like all it is, right? It's fear, but it's powerful. You could say all it is fear, but it's really fucking powerful to the point that it literally can like trap us and keep us stuck in the status quo where we are, which if you're watching this and you have that feeling, like, you know what that feels like, right? And so, what we don't always see, what we can't always see is what's on the other side, right? And like you're on the other side now. And like to hear you say, like, first of all, obviously just how passionate you are, but like you've always been passionate about horses, but the difference now is being able to truly see how you can make this your life's work and how you can impact and support and help women evolve and expand in ways that you've been able to evolve and expand and heal and grow through your work with horses. And just, you know,
it's, and now being like, what does it feel like to feel like all of a sudden you're not only stepping into your life's work, but everybody around you is like, oh yeah, hell yeah, that's exactly what you should be doing.
It's a feeling that's indescribable. It's just like extraordinary, Like yeah, just to get past that fear, anyone that's listening that, has that, like you're saying, like you take that first step and like all these doors start opening. More people are coming into my orbit who, have successful businesses or, have trained whatever, different things. And it's all coming together. And that's the thing, like it's all working out for us. It really is.
Mm. Okay, so what advice would you have for somebody who, what, sorry, it's gonna be loud for a second, but what advice would you have for somebody who's where you were, who's feeling super stuck, who's feeling like they know there's something more out there for them, they know they want their career to feel more meaningful, but they are feeling super scared and super trapped and like just kind of won't even go into the dreaming world because they're just like, well, they just stopped dreaming. I don't know if it's super loud for you right now, but what advice would you give to them?
I would say that, it is safe to dream, no matter what you've taken on, whether it's, your family's fear or scarcity mindset or society, like society tells you, it has to be one certain way. And this is kind of how you get to your end goal. It's like you really need to sit down and think, but what is success for me? And what do I want out of my life? And that's just like, just that permission and that safety to dream. And, because like you're worthy of that. Definitely.
Yeah, we were talking in one of our coaching sessions a few weeks ago about this idea of like not tempting yourself. Do you remember we had this guy? Yeah. And it's
Yes.
like, I feel like so often it's like we stop dreaming because we're like, oh, I don't want to tempt myself. And it's like, I was telling the story about how I walked into some jewelry, like the shop that I love in Chicago, and I was like looking at the jewelry, and the man at the counter was like, do you want me to take anything out for you? And I wasn't going to buy anything that day. So rather than trying things on and getting excited about it, as like maybe one day I'll be able to buy something here, I instead was like, no, I don't want to tempt myself. And had this moment where I heard myself say that and was like, what the fuck? I'm not going to tempt myself. And it's like, I think we do this with our careers too so often, and everything in life. But I think it comes back down to this idea of like when we don't tempt ourselves with dreams because we're afraid we won't ever get it, or we don't know how, we don't want to get our hopes up, right? Or like whatever it is. And so yeah, I mean, just like that first step of like, tempt yourself, like let yourself
Yeah.
actually explore like what might be fun, what might feel amazing, what might feel like it could light you up and fulfill you, just even the exploration period in itself. So I love that.
Yeah. And it's like, what if you do? What if you do get those things, right? So why the hell not? Why wouldn't you dream?
Totally, totally. Okay, so specifically, like when you work with clients, are you working virtually also, or is it just in person?
Yeah, so I'm going to do virtual, and it's kind of going to be, so I have two horses, so it'll be like a pasture immersion type experience that, I think you'll still get the same effect as you would in person or you would virtually. So, my horses, they have a lot of wisdom to share, and I've, spent 17 years alongside of them, so I've kind of tapped into that wisdom, and I'll be able to kind of give a voice to that and speak to it and help people through, maybe it's certain things in their life that they're going through, or they really want to step up in leadership. Maybe they want to be a leader of their life or a leader of other people. The horses, they don't have egos, they don't have egos. They always live in their higher self, and we sometimes have like bias, and the horses don't have that. So that's why it's so impactful.
What does a session look like?
So I'm going to start out doing one-on-one. So, you guys are going to get like my full attention, and it is going to be, alongside, so me with the horses. So you're going to get that, like, that guidance with two very spiritual beings, and then myself as well. So using my intuition. So yeah, they'll be able to kind of, it's going to be goal focused. So whatever the goal is for that session, we'll be able to move through it. And I personally, on my journey, meditation has helped me. Somatic experiencing, which, I went through with Path of Purpose, that's been so amazing. So just like dancing and getting into your body, which is something that the horses teach us as well. So yeah, definitely, open-minded and holistic people because we're gonna have some fun with it.
I love it so much. So it sounds like people are really going to have, I mean, they'll be going through a bit of a structured journey with you, but they're also just going to be accessing intuitive guidance and intuitive wisdom, both from you and from your horses. I'm so excited. I like can't wait. I want to come do a session with you and your horses. I want to feel what it feels like. That's super amazing. Anything else that you want to share about how can people find you? How can people like learn more about your programs?
Yeah, so right here on Instagram, at MIS, so it's Miss with one extra S underscore Min. A lot of people call me Min or Mind. My full name is Mindy, but that's a little nickname. So yeah, that's where I'm at. You can find me on Instagram.
I'll tag all of your stuff on the post so that people can just click on it. So just to kind of close out a little bit, will you just kind of share a little bit about your Path to Purpose experience and like who you'd recommend it for and how it helped you step into your purpose?
Yeah, so, it really, like I was saying before, it really helped me dream. And I mean, there is no price tag you can put on that. When I first stepped into it, I was scared. When we first had that call, I was like, oh my gosh, and I had never invested in myself at that level before. And I think that's what, people are kind of scared to step into that as well, that investment. But that's priceless. To be able to dream, to be able to build your dream, something that's been on your heart for so long, or even if you don't know what it is, you're going to be able to discover what it is and what you're good at. And a big lesson for me was limiting beliefs, because seeing those things out, just writing them, doing the journal prompts and writing them out, that was out of me, and I was able to look at it and be like, oh my gosh, like these things have been living in me and they don't have power over me anymore. And so you feel limitless. And I know you have a new course called Limitless, so that's I'm really excited for that, because that's gonna change people's lives, definitely, and they're gonna get that focused on the most impactful part of Path to Purpose, and that's becoming limitless.
Oh, thanks, Ben. Okay, so for anybody who's watching, Limitless is our the first ever short course that I've released just like this. So I pulled out the limiting beliefs lessons from Path to Purpose. You can do them as a self-study on your own right now. It's in the links in my bio for that course. And then we are going to be actually launching another round of Path to Purpose soon. So if anybody's watching and is interested, it's our 8-week mastermind. Mindy's just been sharing all about how it's helped her healed stuff, really be able to clear out those limiting beliefs so that she could step into her purpose. And she actually started her business while we were in the middle of the program, which is just incredible. So if you're interested in that, you can shoot me a DM and we can talk a little bit about if that's the right fit for you too. But I think that's what we got. Any final words that you want to share about what you've got going on in terms of your business or the experience that you had in the program?
I'm just so thankful to you for, asking the hard questions. I think us as projectors, we really want to get to the core of it. And those hard questions have really just blew my mind open and blew my world open to such, deep discovery. And that's really, it's been huge to me. And being in a supportive community of women that are moving through, they're doing the work and they're moving through things and they're stepping into their purpose, that's been huge too. It's great to be inspired and to be around people doing the work. So yeah, if you're thinking about it, definitely do it. That's my advice. Yeah.
Thanks, Mind. I really truly appreciate that. I received the love and I received the words. For anybody who's following, again, we've got all of the information on how you can connect with Mindy on the post. Horse assisted, equine assisted coaching. And to be clear, Mindy's incredibly intuitive and she's bringing in the intuitive wisdom of these horses too. So if that is even remotely interesting, go check her out. And I'm so happy you came on to share your story. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you for having me, Emily.
I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.
Yeah.